Peace and blessings, y'all. In this corner boxing 24. Good evening, good evening. How's everyone doing this evening? Hope everybody's doing well. I'm doing pretty good on this side. As always, God is good. God is great. God is great. God is great. Can't say that enough. Okay? So let's get into it, man. Deontay Wilder and Robert Helenius is coming up October 15th at the Barclays Center. Wilder, this is his comeback fight after the disappointing back-to-back losses to Tyson Fury. And he's now 42-2 and 1. 42-2-1 with 41 knockouts. So out of 45 fights, he got 41 knockouts. And Robert Helenius is 31-3 with 30 knockouts. With 20 knockouts, pardon me. His last two fights was Karnaki. I think he stopped him both times. And he's a hard hitter, punches real hard. He could definitely put you out. For that part, I guess that's a test for Wilder, because he's fighting somebody that could hit hard. Skill-wise, he's okay. Not on the level of a Tyson Fury or Anthony Joshua or anything like that, but he may be a little test. I guess for me, what I'm concerned about is Deontay Wilder's, not only his mental ability and his mental state, but his physical state. And when I say his physical state, like, what has he worked on since the losses to Tyson Fury? And hopefully he should know, and his trainer and his team should know by now, that power is not enough. Power is not enough to win a fight, okay? And I've been seeing some videos, and in the videos I've been seeing about Deontay Wilder, he's throwing power shots. He's throwing these hooks, throwing these combinations, and that's what he was doing before Tyson Fury, especially before the last fight. That's not going to get it. And we should know by now that that's not going to get it. I watched Tyson Fury over and Wilder the first fight. I watched all these fights over, but I watched the first fight over a few days ago. And I said to myself, wow, Tyson Fury, if Wilder just had a consistent jab, he could have really dictated that fight with Tyson Fury. If you have a consistent jab that you can stick in Tyson Fury's face and make him try to overcompensate to get past your jab, that's when you can counter him with the right hand. In the case of Deontay Wilder, he's an orthodox fighter, so his jab being his left hand, his right hand being his power, right? He could have countered him with uppercuts, with body shots, with hooks. It's a lot, but everything coming off that jab. If he had a consistent jab and some footwork, being able to move around a little bit, making Tyson Fury come to him and going this way and going this way and sliding and moving and not going straight back, where you predictable Tyson Fury, because Tyson Fury was hitting him, would hit him with the 1-2, because he thought that Deontay Wilder was not only open for it, but he was going straight back. He was going in a straight line. You know what I'm saying? So he saw that. He was predictable, basically. And Tyson Fury took advantage of that. Deontay Wilder has to be able to do something different if he's going to try to get back to the level where he was at. He did a lot. He did a lot, man, to get to where he was at. But if he wants to get better and he wants to stay there and retire on a winning note, then he got to change up. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying Malik Scott is a bad trainer. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying, they got a chemistry, obviously. I don't know all that happened with Mark Breland, but I do know Mark Breland wasn't defensive. He wasn't a defensive coach. He wasn't a defensive-minded fighter, and that's what Deontay Wilder needs. Malik Scott wasn't too defensive either, so I don't know what more that's saying, but it's never too late to work on it. That's my point. So I'm just saying if Deontay Wilder is going to be successful, he needs a jab, number one, consistent jab, all right? He needs to be able to counter the fighter after he sets him up. After he tames him with his jab, he needs to be able to counter him. He needs to be able to move around that ring. I know he's tall and all of that, but it is what it is. It's boxing, man. You need to be able to move around that ring and give angles. You need to be able to learn how to block punches. He has long arms. He needs to be able to learn how to block punches, throw punches away. You know what I'm saying? When you can't, because he's tall. He's not going to be able to duck and bob and weave every punch, but you can block some punches. You can throw some punches away. You can use your elbow. You can push people off. He needs to learn how to do those things. If you watch Jared Anderson, the young up-and-coming heavyweight, who's 12-0 right now with 12 KO in his fight last week, you know, he has a jab, throwing a consistent jab, and then he's setting them up. You know what I'm saying? And then after he comes off the jab, then he's throwing his hooks, and he's throwing his body, and he ended that fight, man, with an inside right hand. You know what I'm saying? Because he dictated everything off the jab. He was able to get inside. He didn't just try to push his way inside. No, man, do it off the jab. And he's a big boy too. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Anderson's about 6'4". Jared Anderson's about 6'3", 6'4", so he's a big boy too. Bottom line is he's a heavyweight, and he's moving. You know what I'm saying? He got a little footwork. He's moving around. He got, you know, he's throwing a jab. He's throwing combinations. He's throwing different punches. He's just trying to knock somebody out. You know what I'm saying? Like Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali just didn't try to knock you out, man. He outboxed you. He tamed you with a jab. He stiffed you with a right hand, with a hook. He went to the body. You know what I'm saying? Like Larry Holmes. Larry Holmes did the same thing. They're probably one of the best jabs, if not the best jab in boxing. Larry Holmes, man. Larry Holmes. So, the Eastern Assassin, right? Eastern Pennsylvania. Come on, man. That's what Deontay Wilder has to do. He has to come back, man, differently than how he left. The other thing I hope he worked on is his cardio, man, his stamina, right? He got tired in those fights with Tyson Fury, man. And by the mid-rounds, man, he looked like he was out of it. So run, man. You got to run, man. You got to do that road work. You got to run up in the mountains, man. You know what I'm saying? With them high altitudes, man. But you got to do that road work, man. Get on a bike, ride the bike at the gym, or ride a regular bike. Get that cardio up. Get that stamina up. You know what I'm saying? So that you don't get tired fast. You're going to get tired like your opponent. Tyson Fury had more cardio stamina than him. He outweighed him. He's bigger. All of that, man. It seemed like he didn't really get tired. Or he sure masked it. Made it look like he wasn't tired. Okay, but Deontay Wilder looked tired. So I hope he worked on his cardio. I hope he did some road work. I hope the other thing is, I hope he's been working on his legs. You need your legs, man. Up under you, man. You need strong legs, man. Leg lifts and deadlifts. You know, working on them legs, man. Strengthening those legs up, because he has a nice upper body, but then he got them skinny legs, man. And when you get hit with that shot, you need something to hold you up. And that's like, the legs are like the pillar to a building, man. No matter what hits that building, man, the pillar's going to hold you up. So that's how your legs are. Your legs are strong. They're going to hold you up. And that comes from, again, road work helps. And them leg lifts, man, them deadlifts, man. You know what I'm saying? Working on them legs. So I hope these are the things, man, that Deontay Wilder worked on. And don't let that time off, man, that you had. I hope it didn't go to waste. because he may never fight Tyson Fury again, but it's a shot that he could fight Anthony Joshua. It's a shot that it's a chance that he could fight Usyk. And I think he could beat Usyk. You know what I'm saying? I think he can beat him even right now. But you never know what happens, man. I'm not saying Usyk is no pushover either. Okay? What if he had to fight Andy Ruiz? See what he did to Joshua, man. He put him out. What if he had to fight? Well, he beat Luis Ortiz, man, but Luis Ortiz is not no pushover, man. You know what I'm saying? He's another one that might take 1 or 2 shots from him and he could put you out. So I'm just saying, I don't know what Deontay Wilder's plan is, but it's possible he could fight Joshua, Usyk, Andy Ruiz, and he could be back on top again, but he has to work on those things that I mentioned, and I hope that he did. Robert Helenius is nothing to play with, okay? I mean, he may not be the best fighter, the best boxer, but he can knock you out. So you definitely don't want to see that. You don't want to see Wilder get laid out, okay? You want to see him, man, victorious, right? So that means that you have to work on your defense, you got to work on your legs, your cardio, you got to move your feet, and you got to keep that jab popping, all right? I hope this is what he's been working on, man. And maybe if not all of it, some of it. But I know you definitely need legs, you need that jab. And if you ain't got that, if your cardio and your stamina ain't where it needs to be, man, you're going to have a hard time with anybody. So peace and blessings. In this corner, Boxing 24. Please subscribe to the page. And please leave your comments. Let me know how you feel. And October 15th, man, at the Barclays Center. We're looking forward to that fight. And the undercard, the co-main event, I believe, is Anthony Durrell and Cater Plant. All right? Peace and blessings in this corner, Boxing 24.